Hi everyone, I'm JD. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I just want to share this amazing tool that I absolutely love. Great tool for making junk journals with, and what it allows you to do is to pull out pages from a book where they're intact double pages, and you get the full size page and it can stay up vertical with the vertical fold there in a journal. And so this just allows it to, instead of being folded over half the size and being horizontal orientation. So I'm just showing these two books actually first, the Complete Handbook of Garden Plants and the Key Guide to Australian Wildflowers, because I got a few questions about where I got these beautiful illustrated pages from. So hopefully that helps some of you out there. And just showing you here, if I pulled out a single page, I'd have to fold it over this way. And it's just half the size, and the pages, the writing is going the wrong way. Whereas if you get the full page, the double page spread, the writing goes the right way and you get the full size of the page. I don't actually mind when you have to fold it over half the size and the writing goes the other way, because it adds to that interest and the charm of a junk journal with the variety. But if I can, I do prefer it going the right way up and the full pages. So I tend to do a mixture of both though, just to give that variety. But here I'm just showing you, when I get a book, you have to find the middle of a signature, and then you can just get this seam ripper. That's what it's called, this tool. I had to Google it to find out what it was called. This is a seam ripper, and you just kind of wiggle it underneath the threads, and usually there's 2 threads that you've got to get under. And depending on the book, there'll be 3 or 2 or 4 times that you have to do that. And then you can just pull out the pages like that, and you have the full double page spread. Depending on the book, the signature might only have 3 pages. Others might have, 6 pages. Just depends on the book and the signature. And just keep ripping them out. I've got a stack of vintage French books on my table right now. And I just need to pull out some pages to work on some vintage French journals, but also some other collage journals that I use some French ephemera with, so it will go well with that. And so yeah, I thought I'd put the camera on while I kind of get my pages that I need, and also introduce or share this tool with you. You probably all know it, but like I said, it took me 2 years before I finally got one. And I mean, they're really cheap. I got mine just from the cheap shop. And just such a great investment. As soon as I got it, I was just thinking, man, this is the greatest tool ever for what it can allow you to do. So it just takes a bit of finding where the middle of the signature is. Sometimes the threads are really tucked in tight and it's hard to find them. And sometimes you have to really bend the book back a lot to make them poke out. So as you can see, I'm just kind of trying to find, where are those threads? Where are they? Mind my stomach rumbling if you can hear that. And I'm still having trouble finding the middle of the signature. Sometimes you can easily find it just by looking at the top, and you can tell where the folds are and the middle is. But this one, everything's just so tucked in tightly that I had a lot of trouble. But now I found it. And so I'm showing you how once you find it, you can most of the time easily just grab your seam ripper and cut those threads. And then you do have to be a little bit careful about not ripping the pages. If the thread is really, really tight, it can be hard to wiggle that seam ripper underneath it. And I've put a hole through the pages sometimes. But if the threads are nice and loose, that's definitely very helpful. And so just ripping out all these lovely pages, or pulling them out is probably the better term, because you're not really ripping it. And this one has a lot more pages in the signature, so I'm getting a lot more from this book. This one's a little bit trickier to pull out. And then you can see, not sure if you can see that, but that's where they're glued in, I think. And so that's where they're not really a double side, so I'll use that as a smaller page that folds over. So So it's only all those middle ones that can come out as a double page spread, but the very end ones of each signature tend to not pull out, and you just have to rip them off singly. So yeah, I've got a set of papers from each of these two, and then I grab another book. And people ask me, where do I get these books from? So the French books that you can see, and look at this one, you can tell I've ripped out so many pages of this one already. I've gotten all of these ones from op shops, and they range in price depending on which op shop you find. Some of them are really cheap, like this one was $1.50. Those other books actually weren't from op shops, they were from secondhand bookshops, and they were $5 each, so a bit more pricey. But I thought it was worth it since they're beautiful French vintage books, and I not only can use the pages, but I can also reuse the covers to make beautiful journals out of them. So I'm going to make some French journals out of those book covers after I've used all those pages. So this one I'm just kind of wrestling with the book, folding those pages back so I can find the threads and ripping those apart. It is a bit of a struggle sometimes when the threads are very, very tight. And sorry, I'm a bit off frame here. I just had to kind of bring it close to my eyes so I could see what I was doing. So yeah, here you can see I just need to be careful that I don't rip the page and stick a hole in it. And the botanical books, I got those from an op shop too. Two different op shops. And yeah, just again, it depends where you go. Some of them you just get them for so cheap, and others can be, you know, $10 depending which op shop you go to. But I've also found that some of these botanical books on eBay as well. So I kind of call eBay the online op shop, because I just get the same secondhand books online. And yeah, it's a bit more expensive because of postage and everything, but again, you get so many pages with beautiful flowers that I think it's worth it. And here I've got a French to English dictionary, so there's a lot of pages in here that I can put to good use. Some of them I use for collaging and that kind of thing. Again, I'm just folding the pages down and getting my way into that little crevice, trying to get to it. This one was quite difficult because it's such a thick book, and it can be quite hard to get right down in between those pages. But yeah, you just do your best and see what you can do. But anyway, the seam ripper, I definitely recommend it. Such a little tool, but worth it, worth getting one. And if you don't have one, go get one. Let me know in the comments if you do have one already, and if you don't, let me know if you don't as well. I don't know, but I thought this was, what do they call it, like a game changer. I love having the pages the right way up, the full size and intact double page. So yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I've got with this video to go, but I hope this video was helpful. Anytime I get questions and things, I try to see if I can do it in a video so that it can help you. If you have any requests of things you would like to see, let me know. And I'll do my best to let you guys know what I do, my process, or where I get things from and all that kind of stuff. Tools I use, supplies I use, anything like that, just let me know. And yeah, love this tool. I've got one coming up of how I coffee dye. I've had a lot of requests for that, so I'll see you soon. Bye guys.